Welcome everyone to Module 4, Week 4. Today we are going to go over the instructions for Module 4, which again is covering the same chapters as we did last week. So we're going to kind of build upon chapters 3 through 5, which if you recall is talking about regulations, policies and procedures, recruiting, hiring, and leading. So under our instructions this week, when you're reading, make sure that you are looking at the purpose of the regulations. You want to make sure to understand the qualifications for teachers and administrators and how they're different. Remember, we went through that. We actually did that in class last week when we compared the different titles and Head Start. You're going to talk or learn a little bit more about what should be addressed inside of an administrative manual, as well as talking about what contributions does a leader play in the role of the program's success. Okay, so you're going to look for that when you review chapter 3 through 5 this week. And then the SLOs that we're going to be covering are effective practices for managing and leading staff while administering care in early childhood settings, programs, and also we're going to be discussing more about professional development and how evaluations on staff will help your program. So to be successful this week, there's a couple things I want to make sure you take note of, and that is, again, you are going to be reviewing chapter 3 through 5 to be able to answer these. You are going to review the PowerPoints again for these chapters, and our discussion board this week is handling accreditation, timeline, and cost, and seeing what kind of value does accreditation bring to your program. So the original pred is due on Wednesday by the 11th at 11:59 p.m. And then, of course, your two peer posts are due by the following Friday, which is Friday the 13th at 11:59. You want to make sure that each of the posts, there's three, your original and your two peers, are done on different days. You will not get credit if you do them on the same day. So make sure that you are posting a little bit each day. Okay. I'm going to go over more detail about the discussion in a moment. As well as the PAS evaluation, which we talked about. You are going to be asking a director some questions from your PAS book, and you really just, we're going to go through that in detail as well, and that's not due until the 20th of November. We meet again, I believe, the 16th, so if you have questions, we can address them then. You still have some time before the assignment's due. However, you can email me at any time with any questions, and I'll get back to you ASAP. Also in this week, where I'm offering an extra credit survey. It is worth 10 points. Your feedback is 100% anonymous. However, in order for you to receive these 10 points, you must have all your assignments turned in. So if you're missing any assignments or discussions or quizzes, you won't be eligible to receive the extra credit points. So you want to make sure that all your assignments are turned in, and then you want to make sure to take the survey this week so you can get your 10 extra credit points. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the discussion board before we go into the assignment. Let me go back to the discussion board. Okay, again, this is where you're going to be reviewing the accreditation summarized on page 52 and 53 of our textbook, and also there's the website here that you can utilize. But you're going to determine how much the center that you're working in right now for this term, how much would you need to spend to go through accreditation process and to keep their accreditation current for 5 years. You will then provide a rationale as why pursuing NACCE accreditation is or is not a good investment for you, for the center that you're at right now. And you're also going to discuss what other accreditations could you pursue here in the state of California. Okay, so answer those questions and then respond to two of your peers. And that is our discussion for this week. And then the PAS assignment evaluation is, and I went ahead and added some more to this. So basically you're going to comment on the first 21 items. So we're not looking at staff because there's more items than that. So we're going to comment on the first 21. For all of the items, you're going to discuss what they do and what you would like to do within your program. You're going to write a summary that includes the things that the program does well and if there's any barriers. You'll also reflect on what you would like to do within your program. And again, this assignment is with 40 points. And what I did was I went ahead and summarized each of the standards and criteria. So under staff orientation, and it tells you what does it do. It assesses whether a program has formal or informal orientation for new staff, and there's specific questions you'll be asking. Supervision and performance appraisal will consider how the staff is supervised and how the performance is evaluated. And then under staff development, it assesses whether professional development opportunities are provided for all teaching, support, and administrative staff. And compensation, is there a written salary guide for employees to look at? Benefits, are there fringe benefits for the staff? Any benefits being offered to staff? Staffing patterns and scheduling, consider whether children are regrouped during the day, the availability of paid teacher to have planning time, whether children are ever left alone. Does the administrator spend time within the classroom? Facilities management addresses how operation procedures for the maintenance of this facility are handled. Risk management talks about the components of a comprehensive risk management plan. Children's medical conditions are documented and so forth. Internal communications addresses the methods used to communicate to inform employees. How often are they informed? Are you having staff meetings weekly, monthly? Is your staff informed? Um, and then a screening and identification of special needs, whether you have screenings like ASQ3 or any other that will identify special needs, and are they appropriate safeguards? So that's important as well. Assessing supportive learning considers how teaching staff assess children learning in their development, whether curriculum planning is aligned with the standards. That's a good one. Budget planning talks about the administrator's involvement in the budget and planning process. Accounting practices, is there an income and expense statement? Program evaluation, are families involved in this? Strategic planning, is there a written mission statement as well as a business plan in set? Family communication, family involvement, and so forth. So I have a little brief explanation of each area. So what you want to do is you want to begin with an introduction of the administrator that you have chosen for this assignment, and you'll answer the following questions in paragraph format. The name of the administrator, why did you choose this person, what qualities do they have, what qualities do you admire? You compile a brief description of the administrator's history. Have they been in public schools? Are they in private schools? How long have they been there? The name of the school and location that they're currently employed at, and then you're going to list the day and time of the interview and how long it took for you to complete this interview. Then you'll jump right into the assignment. So I've given you example of number 1, staff orientation. This is what I'm looking for in each area. So this is just number 1, staff orientation. You're going to list the rating. So this staff received 5.3, this particular person for their orientation, and it includes why. So you can put, this is again an example. So the administrator's name indicated that she conducts an 8-hour orientation for all new hires, at which time the employee handbook is covered in great detail. The probationary period is discussed in great length so that a complete understanding is obtained. There is written feedback at the 30-day, 60-day, as well as 90-day period where the staff handbook is reviewed again to reinforce the policies and procedures of the center. Each new hire is required to sign off the handbook that they have been read and they fully understand it. And then administrator's name stated that her door is always open for questions or comments, and she encourages each employee to come to her with any issues so that they may be resolved immediately. And then we talk about what we found. So although I was informed that the handbook was reviewed often and assessments completed every 30 days initially, I was not given information regarding new hire observing in assigned classrooms. Therefore, the highest score earned is a 5.3. So do you see you're giving a little bit of example of why you received that rating, and then why you received just a 5.3? What was missing that you didn't get a higher rating? Okay, and then your own thoughts. I concur with the administrator in that It's very important to have an open door policy for all employees because I believe that communication is key in running a smooth operation. I will also utilize her approach with the 30, 60, and 90-day written feedback, as well as will assist in the new hires' understanding of her role in the program. These write-ups are great for both indicating strengths as well as areas needing improvement. So that is just one, and then you'll go on to two, and so forth. When you're done with the first 21, right? First 21 items. When you're done with all 21 of the items, you will then write a summary that will include things the program does really well or whatever any barriers that you have found. You'll also reflect on what you would like to do in your own program. Now, as you can see, this actually summarizes it very nicely. So then your ending can be very short because you're actually saying why they got that score, what you liked, and what you utilize. Okay. So again, we have time. This is not due until the 20th. We meet again on the 16th. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to ask at that point, but don't wait. I do encourage you to use Pronto, talk with your peers, and if you have any questions, you can email me as well. That is it for this week. Have a fabulous week. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I will see you all on the 16th. Have a great week.